Hello and welcome to the Cardboard Bunker. My name is Pieburn and we are back in the Janus. This is my third attempt at recording episode 31. I have had a few issues. Third time's a charm, as they say. Right, getting into it. So I've given myself a list because I've gone through this so many times. I don't know exactly where I'm at. I'm going to give you a few, I'm going to give you the current ship specs. I'm going to show you the mods that we've had. So actually I'll do that now. So right now I'll pop up on the screen. I should have taken a screenshot before. There should be a lovely picture of the mods that I've put in. These are recommended by Alfred and Robin in my Janus stream that I did a little while ago, just to sort of start testing out this software. There are more bad guys and we have had a few visits already, as you would have seen in the previous video. Going ahead, so I'll then take you a tour of what's been built, take you through from front to back. There's a few sort of plans on what we're doing, and then I'll take you up onto the bridge and we'll fly and I'll show you exactly what's happening with the performance of it so far. It's quite funny. I did send it adrift when I went on a mining run, thinking it would slow down. The inertial dampeners were on, but it doesn't have a great deal of braking force, so it drifted for about 5 or 6 kilometers. I nearly lost it. Actually, no, I did lose it. I had to use creator tools to find my big ship again because it had drifted on past. So we're going to be adding an aerial to this. I've just got to make sure I've got enough materials. I may even turn bars off. Let's turn bars off now and I'll come right back. I'm just turning them off. I like to have them on when I'm flying and out of base. As I said, we drifted for a fair way. We're heading towards the moon. That's the destination that I've got in mind. And when we get there, more than likely I will be scrapping the Cookie Monster. I know, I'm sorry, Alfred. I'll be scrapping the Cookie Monster and I'll be building a proper orbital ship. So it needs to be able to land on a planet and come back up. That's the whole point of that hangar. But that's probably episode 40 plus easily before I get there. There's a lot more to do in between. I'll take you through some of the design choices I've made and be incorporating later on. At the moment I've got a lot of placeholders. I'm just sort of testing out the waters for the engines in the back. I'll show you where I've put the ion engines. Let's just get into it. Let's dig our heels in. So, first part of the tour, as I let out so much more precious oxygen, I've taken a lot of the roof off here. The bridge itself will be coming down to this level. I'll be removing all of this stuff. Where the bridge is now will actually be the roof of this place, and I will bring down all of this stuff here. So that's all in a future episode, probably 33, I'm thinking, according to what little planning I've done. The second thing here is all of this is exposed, so all of these batteries, they're not really doing much, they're just sort of holding charge at the moment. The reactors have enough power to be able to move everything anyway. So my plan is to remove all of these batteries. You can see I've started removing some of them and move them all down to underneath the hydrogen area, where we'll also be putting in the jump drives. So there's quite a few batteries. Anything that's under the bridge I'm not too worried about because we'll have a layer of armor over the top of it anyway. But yeah, I'm just slowly starting to peel it all back, figure out exactly what size I want, because this will actually be the deck level here. So this is the top of the armor for the deck, the upper deck. As you can see, I've also filled in all of this side, and it's actually been built around the back here. Our little defense system here has been working wonders. Nothing small can get through, but we haven't really been attacked by anything large yet, so I'm not exactly sure if that will help. So that is definitely in the next episode. We will be adding armaments to the lower part. Now we only have vanilla at the moment. I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to add any other sort of modded weapons into the game. It's meant to be a vanilla, so try and survive with vanilla. That's why I have such thick armament, is because I don't have the advantage of shields in mine. Whoa, I can even see an issue. Let's fix that while we can. We'll come down here. This is the engine. So these are large hydrogen thrusters. They will be my almost like my overdrive, my afterburners. So I'll keep them for reserve. We'll mainly rely on ion thrusters because they require just power, and eventually we can cover the back of this entire ship with solar panels to gain solar power. So we'll use half blocks and solar panels to be able to do some designs and add some definition to the top rather than it being a smooth surface. Just here. I'm actually thinking of changing them to, if I still got it in my bar, no, there it is. Changing it to these bad boys, the large sci-fi ones. I don't know, the model looks so much better and we've got so many good new blocks to use in the vanilla game. So I say vanilla, I mean anything that comes from Space Engineers without being modded by the community. A lot of this sort of stuff has been done by community members, and they deserve all the praise for the initial mods, such as hinges and so many things. Anyway, back to this. So these are my afterburners. I've left this side unbuilt because I want to show you how I was doing that before. I just wanted to test out the concept, and these have been hit a few times since they've been welded up. There was a few times when they got hit when they were still in framework, and managed to get them repaired. But yeah, the engines behind survived. So they'll take a lot of light fire. Eventually I'll put in the blaster blocks, and I may even put in another layer of armor blocks. So you can see I've started putting in a solid layer of armor for here. This is all kind of test work anyway. More than likely I'll be able to paint all this pink and get rid of it anyway if I need to. The point being just to give us an extra bit of thrust. And because we've got extra forward thrust, we need to have, as I take you past the ribbing side, on the starboard side, it's been a lot of this has been done. We lost the turtle. The turtle got destroyed by a drone, and when we tried to move off, it wasn't held together enough to be able to stay with the Janus, so we just painted that one pink. If I've still got the footage, I'll put it up now. We'll just have a moment of silence. See you later, turtle. Anyway, I've placed all of these blocks. They've still got to be welded, but it's all enclosed up to the front of the launch bar. Now we are very exposed at the front here. If something were to fly in this way, that would be able to do a lot of damage. So my next major goal in block placing is to actually have this whole front area here heavy armor. So even if something does, whoa, flashy flash. So even if something does come straight through here, all they'll hit is the heavy armor. If they penetrate the heavy armor, they've still got a lot to get to, and more than likely they won't be able to make all the way through. The next big block placement will be this front armor here. So inside this chamber here, we will actually have two parts. The top part will be the vertical launch tubes, and instead of having massive ones about maybe half the size of the Cookie Monster, we'll actually go down to smaller ones. We'll use small blocks. They won't be as effective on large ships, but I think if we send, say, 10 at a large ship, I've just noticed a hole. If we send 10 at a large ship, even if some of them get blown up, a lot of the missiles will do damage. And I'm still looking at an exact way of doing that. Just trying to find out if we can do scripts. So I mean, if you guys have an idea, or you can point out something that won't be too script dependent to be able to do it, or without adding an entirely new mod. The whole idea being almost like a set and forget cruise missile type of thing. And this hole here, so we've had some visitors, and they do manage to do a little bit of damage here and there, but this is only a single plate usually. They won't just get destroyed that quickly if they're welded up to a larger degree, such as these ones here. We come over here, see this one here, all fully done. This one here, nothing in it yet. So losing a plate or two, I'm not too worried about. It's losing large swathes of the internal mechanisms would really upset me. I'm really thinking and contemplating. I like the fin on Raven Shield, but I've always been thinking I might need to build down a little bit too, so that I can have some rear firing torpedoes. Then I can just shoot from where my crosshairs are backwards, and so that would need me to bring like a fin down. Probably only come down maybe 20 blocks at the most. And for the front, I'm going to bring the front in. So I'll close all this off. I'll bring the front in, and I'll keep these almost like nacelles and wings. I'll put some ion thrusters all covered in here. They will be our braking thrust, our general braking thrust. In front of that, I will have a hydrogen store and then a hydrogen reverse thrust mechanism, almost like an emergency brake, and I'll have a lot of hydrogens. We'll stack them in as best we can, as much as we can, to be able to make sure that we have enough braking thrust. Because the fact that this takes a kilometre or two to brake, probably maybe 5 or 6, maybe even 10 if I get up to speed to brake, I need some sort of heavy brake. So I won't be able to put that in straight away. But in between each episode, I'll be making sure these all get welded up. I'll also be making sure that I put in thrusters down the side. So what are we going to do in the future? What's going to happen with the future of the Janus? We're heading towards the moon. I'm not going to get in anywhere near the gravitational pull of the moon. I want to stay at least 20 or 30 kilometers away, maybe even 50, just to be very, very safe. This thing does not have enough power in the thrust department. There's not enough thrust to be able to hold this out of any sort of gravity at all, even a partial gravity of a moon. So it really needs to stay a long way away. We are turning. Let's turn this baby. I'm slowly turning to the starboard. So that's kind of where we're heading. What we also need to do along the way is make sure that we can get some materials. We've got all of that stuff way back there, 45 kilometers away. So we've made a fair amount of distance, and that was in what, an hour's recording. I hit forward to about 20 meters per second. Then I took my finger off the accelerator, put on the inertial dampeners, and let it drift. And it drifted, what, a good 30 kilometers. So all my couple of kilometers to stop, completely wrong. This took 30 kilometers. That is just ridiculous. We need a lot of braking thrust. So I'll be drifting slowly that way, but I will also be using the jump drive on the Cookie Monster to go get all the iron I can. As I get rid of all the iron, I will then start removing all the markers. So this side here, I have to do all the ribbing. So that's another large amount of plates, as well as the armor and the front and top here. You can see how slow it is. And there are so many gyroscopes. So many gyroscopes. Okay, there's 60 gyroscopes, but 60,000 worth of gyroscopes. So I will be adding a lot more, a bucket load of the gyroscopes in as well. So I've got quite a few down there. I've got some down near the hydrogen. Did we do it all? Did the writing on the wall prompt my memory and help me cover everything? So, shows you the current ship specs. No, I haven't. Oh my goodness, the very thing on the top of the list. K info. Here's the ship specs. So PCU is 118,000 blocks, 59,000 non-armor blocks. There's 10,000. There's 10,000 non-armor blocks on here. That's pretty spectacular. There's only one gravity generator. I will be putting in more as things go along. I am thinking with the front area, I'm thinking of putting in the hangar up there, or the hangar up there, for drones. I probably didn't mention it in this one, and I should. In the front there'll be drones, so there'll be like a forward-facing hangar, or may even put it on the sides. More than likely, it would just be forward-facing hangar, and it will it will just have a place for scout drones and interceptors and everything to fly in and land there. The CNC will also have a pilotable position. So this ready room that I'm in now is kind of like the Star Trek conference room. The one downstairs will be more like a modern day military CNC buried deep in the center of the ship to protect it from all the flying metal and explodies. Bridge, I'll probably use a lot more of these blocks as well. I like a lot of the new decorative design blocks, so that's all going to make the bridge look fantastic. And the new ships as well, they're all going to look good too. So here's where I was talking about the hangar. I think I mentioned in the previous one, I don't know if I did in this one. If I have, I'll cut this out. If not, you'll hear it. So I'm thinking I'll get rid of this bar here and bring it all the way down to the bottom armor, and I'll put a forward facing hangar so that you can just fly your little ships in here. and because this area here will be dock up to this bar here, you'll be able to get into it from the CNC, which will be located in here. Plans for the future of the channel. Currently streaming Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 o'clock Sydney time. Generally at the moment it's Brad and I, down at Shifty I should say. Generally it's Shifty and I playing Valheim at the moment. It's my new love, and honestly the fact that I'm not playing it right now is kind of hurts a little bit. Jump in, say hi on a Monday night or a Wednesday night. I'm also looking at doing the D&D stuff and building. So these are generally a lot more higher production. There will be painting, as I've done in a stream before. There will be painting videos, not so much tutorials as just painting. I may even just do random streams, short streams on a Thursday night, or daytime streams if I've not got any classes or lessons or work on, just to hang out and do some painting. So thanks everyone for watching. Look after yourselves, be kind to everyone, and most of all, have fun.
Bye.